Alright fans, so this is week 5 of college football, and my UCLA Bruins just got off their bye week, which couldn't have come at a better time, and we got 9 straight weeks of Pac-10 play. Pac-10 play has finally started for, at least for my Bruins, finally. They haven't played a Pac-10 game yet. Everyone else almost has. And, first off, we're talking about the game. I'd like to say, I wish you a speedy recovery, Stephon Johnson. That was, hearing that headline about injuring yourself that way, ouch, that hurts. I wish you a speedy recovery, and I hope things can go well. And that goes the same for Tim Tebow, too. So, back to the game, though. UCLA is playing Stanford, and they come up to Palo Alto. I mean, this is like right in my own backyard. Palo Alto's not too far away from here, and I wish I could go to the game, but I'm unable to because I don't got money for a ticket. So UCLA comes up to Stanford, and it's going to be a big game. I mean, in the preseason, I don't think people expected this to have much implications in the Pac-10. But you got to realize the race is wide open right now for the Pac-10 title. Everyone can lose a game, and everyone is easily vulnerable, I think. So the Pac-10 is very deep, 9 teams. You might think it's a joke. Stanford may be considered good, but I'm not surprised at all. I picked them to be 4th in the Pac-10 standings when I did my Pac-10 preview. I said they were the sleeper team, and so far I'm right so far. So Stanford, they got to come up to Stanford on the road. We'll see what happens. The best Stanford player out there is Toby Gerhart. That's their running back. That guy he ran all over last week, all over Washington. I mean, who beat the team that just beat USC? Stanford did. Jake Locker looked very average last week, and Stanford really stepped it up, and they embarrassed Washington by 3 possessions. So congrats to you guys, Stanford, for that. Cardinal are going to be a rough team because they're good. They can run the ball. Their quarterback, Andrew Luck, is not the greatest, but Andrew Luck, at least he's a lot better than Tavita Pritchard was. That's what I will say. They also have some defense like Richard Sherman, who's obviously one of their former wide receivers, who's now a cornerback. The other guy we got to watch out for is Chris Owusu. He's been one of those kick return guys, very much like how Josh Cribbs is. He's a good kick returner, and he can definitely catches the ball a lot, so we got to watch out for him. Now, from a Bruins perspective, we got to avoid all the stupid penalties. Honestly, I get annoyed at those 3rd down stops, and then we get a penalty to give the other team a 1st down. That was happening throughout the Kansas State game. It happened a few times against Tennessee. That was frustrating. We got to stop those penalties, and we got to stop them now, because that's something that my Oakland Raiders do. I don't need to see more of that. So Kevin Kraft once again will have to start. Prince, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right now is currently out. For those of you who don't know, Bel-Air is about a few miles north of UCLA's campus. So Kevin Prince is really the Fresh Prince right now. So Kevin Kraft looked okay during the last game against Kansas State. Not the greatest, but we cannot use the vertical passing game with him. If that guy lobs a ball, it's going to be a pick, or it's going to be so off target. If he could zing the ball and zip it in there to the wide receivers or tight ends, whether it's Ryan Moya, whether it's Taylor Embry, whether it's Terrence Austin, or Rosario, just zip the ball to the wide receivers and use them for rollouts. That's what he is very effective with his legs. Good news is the offensive line is giving him much better protection, and I'm happy for that. But remember that Stanford, they've held Washington's offense to only 14 points last week. They're definitely a team that wants to make noise too. On the running game, we got to watch out. Jonathan Franklin, you need to hold on to the ball. You've had a couple clumsy fumbles, and I don't want to see that. He almost gave me a scare against Tennessee by that fumble in the goal line nearby. That was a close call. Franklin was pretty clumsy there, and he's got to hold on to the ball. Hopefully he learns from it. Still have Derek Coleman at running back. Milton Knox is back from suspension. Still, there's that question of Aaron Hester is still out for a cornerback, and we're going to need to. Courtney Viney most likely will return in that section. Will he get picked on? Big question there. Also, Sheldon Price could take his spot. Valteron Burner for the most part has been solid. Raheem Moore, one of the big interception guys. A few times he's gotten lucky that there's been a bad quarterback, but Andrew Luck is vulnerable. He's not the greatest quarterback ever. We can come up and intimidate him early with sacks or getting him with Brian Price or Reggie Carter, maybe Corey or Kyle Bosworth. We'll see what happens against Stanford, but let's avoid those penalties, hold on to the football and not fumble it, and Kevin Kraft, just do the job you need to do. Don't have to be calling a pass play all the time. Just use them for zing plays and do not do any lobs or too many vertical passing throws, because that's what's led us to an interception, and maybe that's why his stats last year were so bad. So this is about it. Go Bruins, and also Danny Golding. The bet we have, if you're watching this, if UCLA wins, then you got to sing the Mighty Bruins. I'll have the video to the side, and I will wear Stanford hat and Stanford sweatshirt in the event Stanford beats UCLA. Do not expect an immediate Crovid or victory video immediately after the game, but I will wear a Stanford gear in my next video if UCLA loses. So you need to respond by video. Do not do it by comment. Respond by video saying you accept, and the bet is on. So go Bruins, and let's beat those Stanford Cardinals, shall we?